What is up, CSGs? It is back to basketball. The Houston Rockets are back tonight playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in a game that was an ugly win, but we will take it coming out of the context of where we were in the past few. What they say we went 7 out of 9 losses and coming out of the break. So this was definitely a much needed win against a really tough opponent that is a Western Conference rival that we may just see in the playoffs. And we've seen this series go back and forth between the Timberwolves and the Rockets. We've seen Ant really own the team, really kind of be a guy that's a huge difference maker in these series. And even though tonight he got it going early, when it was all said and done, we were able to put the vices on him, lock him down in the fourth, and he kind of phased out there. You know what I mean? He kind of faded out there. When you got to work as much as he did for his shots, it's just a matter of time, just play the numbers. But overall, 20 turnovers for the Rockets, not their best focused game. It was real sloppy. Şengün had 8 turnovers, shot, I think, 38% from the field. He played good defense, but didn't like the shooting on the interior. That's been a season-wide issue for him, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Jalen dropped 35. His decision-making and processing wasn't that great. But we still appreciate the fact that he showed up when it counted. But some of the decision making and the way the Wolves were playing him could have made the game a lot easier on himself, Amen Thompson, and way to bury the lead on my behalf. Jabari Smith is back, baby, and it really, if you guys didn't understand the importance of Jabari Smith, that's where I'm going to start off. Like, he just gives our team so much versatility on multiple fronts. He can help you on your wing depth. He helps as one of the few players we have on the roster that's a true 4. And I've talked about this, I think in the last video I made, I talked about this. And Coach Udoka actually literally almost damn near verbatim said what I said. He damn near verbatim said what I said, because when you think about the impact of Jabari Smith Jr., a lot of people want to reduce him down to three-point shooting. If you're a little bit smart, you say he's a good rebounder, but it's not even just that. He provides spacing, even though tonight he did that. Jabari tonight, shot 5 of 9 from the field, which is really, really good. Made 4 or 6 of his 3. So provided that spacing you need, but it's the tertiary impact that he has. I think there's on multiple fronts. Obviously, the one I've been harping on since he went down is rebounding. And this Coach Udoka, I don't know which reporter asked a great question regarding Jabari's impact, but he said that when Jabari's not there, guys are forced to do other things. You have Dylan having to play that 4 or 5 spot. So he's guarding 4s and 5s now, where he's better suited to be outside on the perimeter. You don't have to rely on Dylan Brooks to not only guard 4s and 5s, but also get rebounds, which is where we were hurting without Jabari. And how many big rebounds? There was a stretch where Jabari had about 5 rebounds in a row. It's finishing off defensive possessions. The Rockets can force you into the actions they want, make you take a tough shot. But if you got like a Nas Reed down there battling with Dylan Brooks and they're getting putbacks, we're not going to win those games. And that's a lot of the reason we lost was rebounding. We out-rebounded the Wolves by, I think, 10 boards this game. Jabari is literally instant impact on that. All the issues we have are still going to be there with him in the lineup. The bad decision-making without Fred VanVleet for the most part. The CTE shot selection by our players. The lack of offensive identity or offensive philosophy, just kind of a pragmatic approach to playing the basketball, which is just go with whatever works. You know what I mean? And that could only get you so far, but that works for the Rockets because the style, even though we don't have a identity, we do have an identity. Our identity is overall is that we're a gritty team, and we've leaned into that identity. So offensively, we don't have an identity, but in not having an identity, we kind of have this scrappy, we're going to get on the boards, we're going to run in transition, and if all else fails, we'll just go to isolations between mismatches with, Şengün, Jalen Green, try to attack put Dylan Brooks on the smaller player, get a man downhill. So just kind of a variety of players, which, once again, good and bad, a gift and a curse. Sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. That goes both ways, right? You could say sometimes me, sometimes you, always us are sucking right now, right? Or are being bad, and that happens. So that's where you ask for more consistency from your all-star players like Alperen Şengün, that you can't shoot 38% from the field, right? And miss 10 open layups, right? That's how you ask Jalen Green to be able to read a pick and roll and make the right passes and not turn the ball over and hit your open shots and et cetera, et cetera. That's why you want these things on a night-to-night basis. So the argument for having a more structured offense has a little bit more support. You know what I mean? It has a little bit. Now, I understand you live and die by your best players, but I think knowing what I know about Coach Doka, he's a pragmatist. He's going to try to win at all costs. But he also pointed out with the Jabari thing, the impact it has on other players. One of the things that I noticed was the fact that Amen Thompson's impact was diminished when Jabari wasn't there, because Amen was not really being placed in Jabari's position. Dylan was. Amen would be in Dylan's position. So POA, right? You have Amen as the point of attack defender. Whereas tonight you got to see Dylan Brooks really get a good amount of POA on Anthony Edwards and different ball handlers, which he got in foul trouble, but it allowed Amen Thompson to do what he normally does well, which is, crash from the weak side to help on the protect the rim, to crash off the board on rebounds. And, he didn't have a crazy amount of rebounds, but he had 8. I think in the games where Fred and Jabari were down, in like the last 8 or 9 games, Amen was averaging like 3 or 4 rebounds a game, which is uncharacteristic for him. Even though his scoring went up because he was on the ball more, his rebounding really took a nosedive. And I think the best version of him right now for the Rockets team is the version of the player that we kind of saw tonight, where it's kind of he is guarding a lot of the perimeter action, but he is not the main POA that's going to be on ball guarding the main guy for the whole game, because it just takes him out. If he's out there contesting a shot, then he's not back there helping on the boards. And so you got to see some of that tonight. So, Jabari just slots everybody in their place, because once again, he is a unique position on our team. We don't have many true fours on our team. It's him as a true 4, and honestly, Jeff Green. And Jeff Green obviously is not a player you want to rely on big minutes for. And the best part about Jabari is that he's also a 5, right? He could play the small ball 5, and we saw that implemented tonight, where we went small and the rebounding doesn't take a major hit. And at the same time, you allow more spacing on the court when Şengün isn't out there. And then you don't have to see a lot of minutes from Steven Adams. You can just spot play him. You don't have to see, Jock Landale minutes. And he kind of bumps down some of the Reed Shepherd stuff. And I would have loved to see what Cam would have done tonight. I'm not sure why he didn't get minutes, but so these are the kind of the peripheral effects of having him back. I just think that overall he makes our team better. He is one of the, I think it was, I don't know who said it, whether it was Udoka. Yeah, I think it was Coach Udoka, that we have a very fragile ecosystem with our players. Yeah, our team is like a big puzzle, whereas the pieces support each other in such a way that if you're missing one, it kind of throws off the whole thing. So having him back is crucial. And I think once we get Fred VanVleet back, the team will be back to kind of our baseline, which is really ugly offense. But we're going to clamp you down. We're going to play hard. We're going to make it physical. And then we're just going to try to win the war of attrition on a night-to-night basis. So definitely glad to have him back to help us secure this win. I don't think we win this game without Jabari Smith. His shooting, the defense, the rim protection he provides, just the body. He's always on the inside. I want you guys to watch that when you watch him play. When the shot comes up, he is on the inside. He's on the inside. He's on the interior. That's what you love about Jabari Smith Jr. So glad to have him back. Also for the Rockets, with the offensive issues, I think Fred addresses a lot of those. We just need to be more consistent in our decision-making. 20 turnovers, like I said, is horrible. I think Şengün's his layups thing is, I've given up on that this season. I'm not going to hold y'all. Like I just don't see that getting better this NBA season. I'm going to give him the off season of this year to work on that, to work on his explosiveness, to work on his strength, to work on his balance, getting to the rim. First year after a season-ending injury, historically, players are not their full self. So if this is his first year back and he's an all-star, then I expect him to raise the level next season. So that's why I'm not tripping too much on that. I think that inability to make those inside shots is really what's separating him from just being a all-star to a All NBA player, because on any given night, he should be getting you 12 boards, 12, 13 boards. And he had how many boards today? Let me see. He had, let's see, I think he had like 13 rebounds. 13 rebounds. He doesn't have those rebounds, once again, without Jabari Smith Jr., another body, and they're blocking out for him. So he doesn't have to do all the boxing out, all the fighting by himself. He can clean up with Jabari and now a man off ball. So now we really can get to our rebound bag. But any given night, he's giving you 13 boards, between 3 to 6 assists. If he can convert and not be a terrible person at the rim making layups, that's literally the difference between, a 19 point per game player and a 25 point per game player, right? So those are incremental improvements you're going to see. Like, people have existential crises about our players on a night to night basis. It's really exhausting, honestly. Even if he struggles in that this year, he'll just keep working on that. He's 22 years old. Our guys are young. Like, I really don't care. Like, okay, we're a 4th seed. We have an all-star level player that's 22 years old. We'll be fine, okay? We'll be fine. Everything doesn't have to be the end of the world and, oh my God, he can't make a layup. And like, bro, okay, he's gonna make his layups. So, but this season, I think it's gonna be a detrimental to us if he can't improve on that, which I don't foresee. So I think his shot selection has to be better. His decision making has to be better. And he has to have a quicker decision making when it comes to whether he wants to attack or he wants to pass or he's trying to draw, whatever he's trying to do. I think he gets caught in no man's land a lot of times. I like him personally. I like him when he is more on the distribution side. And then once his passing and the cutting and everybody's moving, that's when he can then get going. And if it's a isolation situation late in games where you want to slow it down, then get into that bag. But that's a two-way street with the rest of his teammates, because if he's going to distribute, there has to be more action than guys just standing there and randomly cutting when it doesn't make sense. So, shout out to him for making the All-Star game. Once again, reflecting on that, it is amazing to see for one of our players to be able to get that honor. I'm hoping that rubbing elbows with some of those greats really does help him elevate his own perception of his game, because there are a lot of times where you see him kind of get timid and fall to the back. I want him to be an a-hole. Like, you got to, at some point, one of the things about being a one of those guys, a star player, is you got to take ownership of your team, bro. And I haven't seen that from Şengün. I don't know if it's a cultural issue, but you see some of these players like Anthony Edwards, there's no mistake. Like, you know what it is when it comes to him. And you don't just do that by saying it. You got to do it on the court too. And I've seen him take over games, but there's still something missing there when it comes to that alpha mentality. I want to see that. And you got to go get it, bro. Like, you got to go get it. And you can't, and I just talked about all his offensive issues, et cetera, et cetera. I'm more concerned about decision making than shot percentages, because some of those missed shots are dumb shots. That's what I don't like. But if the team needs you, you got to go. If you're an all-star, bro, empty the clip. You know what I mean? That's why I want him to empty the clip. Like, you got to be emptying the clip on a night-to-night basis, because that's what we need you for. Same thing with Jalen, right? You got to empty the clip. Like, you got to empty the clip making smart decisions, though. So we don't have the Tates of the world, the Aaron Holidays of the world, the Dylan Brooks of the world feeling like sometimes we got to mature out of that. I love that phrase. It looks good on the commercials. It's just, to me, that's just childish, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But otherwise, I think that, what I expect from Alp going forward this season is for him to elevate his play, especially it's just 24 games left. Go get it, bro. Show us why you got that nod to go and play at the All-Star game. You got to carry. You got to backpack on a night-to-night basis. Overall, for the team expectations, I really expect everybody to step up. Post All-Star break, Jalen Green, I want to see that guy. I need that. We need that. We need him to backpack too, right? JG needs to backpack. We need everybody to be on top of their game. Their legs are rested. I need Dylan Brooks to be the December Dylan Brooks that was shooting north of 40% from three. I need Amen Thompson to be that guy that we saw that was giving us 18 and 11 on a given night on good efficiency. I love that he's explored. And I think one of the benefits that he had with these injuries of Fred and Jabari is to the opportunity to explore his game. And I think that really is going to bring some fruits for him going forward. And you see some of it where he's more aggressive on offense. I love that. I just keep refining that, but we're gonna have to be on point, right, for this stretch, because I really feel like the line between being like a 4th, 3rd seed and being an 8th, 9th seed is real fickle. Like, it's real thin, bro. So they got to be on point. It's really can't give away games. No more of them dumb losses like we've lost in some of these games that we had where we have leads and blow it late. We can't do that. We got to close out games. We got to blow bad teams out. And these good teams, we just got to put them away in the 4th quarter. And that requires everybody to be on point. Fred, come back, bro. Come back. Hey, we need you, bro. We need Fred VanVleet back. Tari Eason, up and down game, bro. I need consistency from you, brother. I need it. I need that consistency. I need that defensive awareness. I need that defensive aggressiveness. I need that defensive versatility. You know what I mean? So I need that. I need that chaos agent back. So it'll be a welcome sight to see Tari get back to his full strength coming off of the All-Star break. We need the bench. We need some of those bench players to come back, right? We need you guys to be able to hit your shots. Aaron Holiday at a high clip, right? What Rue said, holiday season, we need that back, bro. I need Steven Adams to not be bad on defense, right? Just be serviceable, especially against teams. Like, come in there, do your minutes, do what you got to do. Cam Whitmore, when you get your opportunities, I don't need CTE. I need good decision-making Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore that attacks when he's supposed to attack, takes his catch-and-shoot threes when those kickouts come, and runs in transition, plays hard on defense. Reed Shepherd, if you get your opportunity, I need you to shoot, right? We're not just going to keep passing the ball back and forth like Jackie Moon on that one basketball movie. I'm forgetting the name right now, where he's going to the post kicks it out, he goes to the post. Like, Reed, we don't need you to be Jackie Moon right now, bro. We need Reed Shepherd. You got Gilly on the podcast saying you one of the players that he could beat in the NBA, bro. We got to beat them allegations, bro. You got Gilly on the podcast saying that Reed Shepherd and Pods and what's his name over in Minnesota, Reed's teammate from Kentucky, that those are the players. Basically picked all the short players in the league and said he could hoop them up. We got to beat them allegations, gang. We can't go out like that. So we need the team. Ime, brother, we need you, bro. Open up the crack open, dust it off, bro. Blow the dust off that offensive playbook. Crack it open. We need something, bro. We need to start building towards this playoff run, because ultimately, one, we got to get in the dance. I have I don't have any fears that we're not going to make the playoffs. I feel like we are for sure. And once we get in the dance, we got to make some noise. I got these boys, whatever, even if we lose in the first round, second round, whatever it is, we have to push ourselves to the limit so we can see where our true weaknesses are. If we get swept off of just bad planning, bad matchup, just all this stuff where your head is just spinning, you really don't know. I need us to have a quality series. And the only way you can get to that level where you're a quality playoff team is that all engines have to be running full power by the time you get there. And it starts right now. So the Rockets, y'all boys got to get ready, locked in, and let's go. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Keep rocking with the Chop Shop, and we're going to keep dropping that